Hey all, this is Charlie 6 Zulu. I'm here with another battle replay from our weekly battle replays. Another Rome 2 video. The battle I was going to give you, which was a Thrones one. Really good example of what happens when you make one mistake and basically throw the game for your team. Made by yours truly. Did not save properly, which is really annoying because I did good and bad things that game. And it would have been just a great point to show how a battle can turn so easily. Uh, I'll try to find another one that would work for that. Obviously, it's hard to do organically. uh, but this was brought in for one of Joe on its live streams. Now, Joe pretty much has a live stream every day. Not always Total War, but when he does, those in his Discord can participate. This is from one of his battles. Uh, we've got here 4v4 on Polpadeva. Now, some of these names you might recognize, they have appeared before. These are a lot of people who tend to play on these streams, jump in the Discord. So it is a bit of a hectic environment as they're all talking around, so hopefully this is a little more calm and a better battle breakdown. But we'll start, I think, with the attack. The first one we have here. Oh, of course, before we get started, please do like and subscribe. Please tell me what you like, what you don't like, as I am getting started. I do want to hear your opinions. What I'm doing well, what I'm doing poorly. But first off, we have Riza 46911 playing as Tylus. Now he's got 3 Oathsworn brought up in that line, including that general. Yeah, second wind. Okay, yeah. He brought the normal thing you bring with Headhunt, which is second wind, which because is when you exhaust yourself after using Headhunt, you're fine afterwards. Obviously, he's got a fixed ballista. Let's drop this down. Actually, no, we'll leave this up for this one so you can see everything on that mini map as we're rolling around. Where was I? 4 Celtic Slingers right over here. We also have 3 Levy Freemen. There's 2. The third one is over here because he might be scared of a Saliot. I wonder why. On top of that, he has 7 tribal warriors. Really the bread and butter of Tylus. They'll win fights. They won't win every fight, but they'll even the fights they lose, they'll hold for an annoyingly long amount of time. Next up, we have partially intermingled with them, Carthage. Now this is brought to us by Destero, and he's got my least favorite general, the General's Bodyguard. Now they say, yes, you bring it because it's cheap. It's 470 compared to I think it's the 1030 of the Noble Cav. But it's a half-strength command unit general, which means it's not very talented at most things, and it's half the strength of a normal cavalry. So though it is cheaper, you do lose out on a lot of stuff. I just want to point that out why. And you see a lot of people can't micro it well enough for them to do well. That's why I tend to have that always disgusted appearance for the General's Bodyguard. It's just overall, in my opinion, a waste of a slot. He's also got a Balearic Slinger. He's got 3 Cretan Archers, 7 Libyan Swordsmen. He's got 4 Mercenary Gallics. Where are those guys? Okay, so they're more up in the front. Yeah, there's the third. Yeah, there's the 4 Gallic Swords. Last 3, are these them? Yes, the 3 Mercenary Samnite Warriors. Look at these guys. It's been a little while since we've seen them. Mostly people go Libyans and then just jump straight to Nobles. I think the craziest strategy I've seen with this was a triple gold chevron Mercenary Samnites build, which actually worked better than I thought. But no need to dwell on that. We have Propane 9900 as Galatia with that noble horse general. He's also brought a fixed ballista. 3 mercenary Syrian archers, 6 Galatian Legionnaires. They're bread and butter, just like those tribals. Less armor, but more attack. Or more offensive capability, I should say. I think it's more than just attack. We also have one Galatian nobleman, so let's see if I can find him, because you don't see these very often. You normally see people bring the noble horse. Look at those. I like how some of them have the little Averni symbol. That is, of course, the symbol of the boar. There's shield screen and cavalry counter tactics, as well as expert charge defense. So very good stationary unit. Something that could really punish cavalry if they're not paying attention. But of course, we also have 4 Galatian swords. And of course, the skin ship. 1 naked sword. Armed with those loincloths, helmets, torques, and shields. Only armaments right there. And the final attacking army is one you normally don't see on attack due to their kind of glass cannony nature, which is brought by Smarthawk, which is Lusitani. Now he's got 3 Lusitani nobles. My favorite looking unit. Look at these guys. Oh, nice units. They can be very scary, especially in the damage department. Now if they get shot, they're not a lot less scary. But he's also got a fixed ballista, 4 Iberian slingers, 2 gorilla swords, which are a lot of fun. Fun fact, there is actually a cheaper variation, which is a spear that acts almost like a Threo spear. You can't see them, of course. I'm looking around for a unit on attack when we're watching from the defender's perspective. But they have a cheaper one called the Lusitani Spearman, I think it is. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they're cheaper. They're like a Thoreos. And if you just need something to move it up, they are cheaper, but they are a lot worse in quality. He also has 3 Lusitani swordsmen and 3 Lusitani swordswomen. Another fun fact about these boys right here, Lusitani swordsmen, like the mercenary Iberian swordsmen, they have 5 precursors. You just can't aim them like the mercenaries, unless you do a little exploit. And then he has 4 mercenary, not mercenaries, 4 veterans shield warriors. Gosh, I'm losing my mind. This is what I get for mentioning Carthage. There's the last Gallic. Now we're moving over to the defenders. I'm going to save Mr. Joe on it for last because he's brought the most professional army I've ever seen for Rome. Outside of my attacking one, which is almost identical. Except they have a few spear variations to make up for it. And less cav. Let's start with Celestron, who is Bowie-Eye. Now he's got 2 Oathsworn, including his Gen, which are right back there in the back. He's got 4 Celtic Slingers, 4 Axe Warriors. He's also got 1 Levy Freeman. Definitely what he's pinning all of his hopes and dreams on. And of course, he's got 6 Sword Followers. Now, just like the Galatian Swords, just like the Tribal Warriors, this is the bread and butter of this faction. If you see any 3 of the factions I mentioned, you're normally seeing as many of them as they're allowed to bring. Because when it comes to mid-tier, those are the 3 you really look at. 3 barbarian mid-tiers. Now we have Shall Not Pass, playing a very fitting faction for him, Chimeria, decked out with hoplites that will make it very difficult to pass. Which includes 3 Chimerian Noble Infantry, including their Gen. Let's see if I can see one of them. I love these boys. Look at that. Very scary units. And they can actually rack up a lot of kills, especially if you're not paying attention. He has 3 Step Lancers right over here. cheap shock cavalry can do a lot of damage. I think my favorite instance was I actually charged a unit of legionnaires who didn't manage to get their precursors off, and I lost more step lancers than they lost legionnaires. But you get them into a soft target or a lightly armored target, or even just into a flank, and you'll actually do quite a bit of damage. But outside of those step lancers, he's got 4 step archers, which is an interesting choice. Hopefully it pays off for him. I actually prefer those Chimerian heavies. That is personal preference. Step archers actually still have a 40... Hold on. This might not actually be that bad of a unit. He's got the hide. Okay, so that's just hide and scrub. 40 damage on them. Not bad. He also has, with 150 range, of course, two hoplites, 6 Scythian hoplites, basically a cheaper variation of the hoplites, and of course, 2 step spearmen. Going to hold, as you can see in square formation, the cruxes of his formation. Next we have codename 00. As Nabatea, with of course the Nabatean Noble General, or the Nabatean Noble Cavalry. As the Nabatean Noble General, as Joe likes to say, is always a fun unit to bring. Pretty fast shock cavalry. He also has... they're there. That's where they're hiding. The 2 Arabian Cav. Definitely not one you see very often. Actually, not bad stats. 15 armor, obviously, but they can do some damage. I don't know how 15 armor makes them medium, to be honest. That should be registered as light, to be fair. He also has 4 Nabatean heavy archers, 5 Nabatean axe warriors, 4 Nabatean swordsmen leading the front, and 2 Reckham Palace Guard, which are hiding in the very, very back. Highest tier unit for Nabatea. If you do see them, do not underestimate them just because they're spears, just like the noblemen. And like the noble infantry, they can rack up a lot of kills, punish cavalry. They have a lot of nice uses. They can also just generally encourage, like all the other 2. But, finally, there's no more delaying it. We have Joe on it, on his favorite faction. Just so you know, he is so scared that he would play it all the time, he actually has to have you donate $50 for him to even be able to play it. And it is, of course, Rome. And he's brought the most elite army I've ever seen. He's got a Legatus General, 1 Legionary Cavalry. Interesting unit right there. Look at that. Obviously post-Marion, as it's a legionary. 3 auxiliary Syrian archers. What makes this army professional? 7 gladiators. 7 gladiators and 6 gladiatresses. This army is going to do some damage and not last very long in a fight. Though to be fair, the gladiators do have a straight 10 armor, and they have shields. 10 armor shields and nothing else, while the gladiatresses do have about 40 armor, most of it being, I think, in their, only 10 on their shield and a base value of 30, more armored, but less damage. They have frenzy and what is it? Killing. They have frenzy and gladiatress is a frenzy and killing spree. Well, the gladiators just have killing spree. Now this is going to definitely be an interesting battle to watch. We got a bit of a cav sally out, as you can see. Army built on shock, an army built on holding. 2 armies built in between, to be honest. Let's see how this all goes. Let's get ready to party, right? Alright, let's get started. I think we'll just zoom in here because this seems like it's going to be very safe. Should say, as these levy freemen are charging in, I do have a bottle of Macallan, I do have a bottle of Macallan. I have a glass of Macallan, in honor of the glorious army. Those about to die, we do salute you, my beautiful army of gladiators. And most likely this unit of levy freemen as they charge these gates. And so they're still fine. Hey look, the gates aren't opening, they're fine, no one's coming out. And horns are blaring, they're still fine. Look at that, they don't get hurt. We're proud levy freemen. Gonna do our duty today. I hear a lot of sounds in the back. Oh, we run away. Oh, shit. As we run away. No, guys, don't look back. This is not going to be pretty. Guys, oh! Well, they got some kills. But, as the Legionary Cavalry and Steppe Lancers lead the way out. They got 13 kills, hey! Charge back in. Not mean to hit N. I'm a genius. It's O and U. There we go. Actually, I do want to see how these levy freemen end up doing. 22 kills. That's not bad against cavalry. I mean, it's not the best cavalry out there, but it is doing damage. Oh, here comes the Arabian cavalry. Have they reacted? Yes, Tylus has begun to react to this. What are you doing? 38 kills. There we go. Levy freemen actually not doing too bad, but that's going to be the end of them. Yep. Oh gosh, poor boys. 61. 59. Oh, the Legionary Cavalry doesn't look like they're done. No. Okay. Looks like they're going to pull back around as these two levy freemen come. Interesting strategy with Tylus moving up those slingers without necessarily as much support as you would want. Because I know there's at least 5 units of cav, but the front line is 2 units of levy freemen and then 4 Celtic slingers. These Oathsworn and Tribals do need to hurry up and get to their Celtic slingers. They want a chance to survive. Steppe Lancers going this way. Something fun with the Legionary Cavalry. They're hiding. Yep, here they go. They did go hidden. Oh, those little bastards. Oh, ooh. Brutal volley. Look at these. These slingers got it. Now they just need to go this way. Right into them. 16 men. Now let's see how these guys do. They had 33 kills. They literally doubled their kills. What are those broken boys doing? 79. Oh, those Steppe Lancers are definitely racking up some kills now. But the good news is some of the walls are already broken, and Nabatea is pushing up. Just a quick look over here. End of those guys. Looks like maybe 1 lost unit of slingers. Yeah, only 1 lost unit of slingers. This is going on. Galatia is pushing back. Carthage is now breaking down their wall. And the artillery shots are coming in. This is going to get very... Oh my god. Oh, that gen. Oh my god. What a boy. don't know if they know there's enemies here or not. But that's going on. Cavalry pushing away those that survived. Syrians there. They do notice the legionary cavalry. So what are these boys going to do? The one of the two professional Roman units with the legatist. The rest are mercenaries or gladiators. Oh? This could be big for them. Make sure that doesn't burn. Okay. They need to break those boys fast. Yeah, get out of there. How's this doing? Lusitani, unit of swordswomen, pushing up for the next breach. Those boys are basically broken. Oh no! What are you doing, Tylus? Oh god, this... Galatia's got the noble horse. Galatia's got to move on down. General's bodyguard isn't going to do any shit in this fight, not to melee cat with 70 men left. Only one that has a chance in hell is the noble horse. He has more than a chance in hell, he just has to start reacting, which he isn't. I want to see how these ballistas are doing while we watch this disaster unfold. That one's at 86. That one's at 20. Just so we know, the Legionnaire Cavalry is at 115, so he is doing very well. So at least getting one slinger. Noble Horse reacting now. But downside to melee cav is the charge is always like a wet paper blanket. But they're cutting through enough. I mean, at this point, there's no escape. You might as well just go into there. Try to kite around the Carthaginians and try to get behind them. They're gonna get caught. Another one broken. They might come back. I'll be honest, I don't know if Tylus just left. This is a stream battle, so I could do the due diligence and go back, or I can rely on Joe telling me later. It's going to be the latter. If I even do that much. They are reacting to the cavalry, so doesn't look like it's fully AI. This isn't reacting like a player would. Artillery strikes coming in while the attackers get their nice foothold with Galatia moving up with its swords. Got some Gallics, and we got more breakthroughs happening with those Gallics. They got to be careful with that one and not to hurt themselves. Alright, I'm imagining this point, I'm going to assume, because I know the Tylus player, and he's not that bad. This is DC. But it is going to be a nice little thing for the gladiators.
Double time. Forward. Loose. My business, guys.
Charging behind, charging behind.
Yes, come on.
Alright, put that away.
And feet.
Good news, it's neutralized now, so they're not going to bleed anymore. Galatia's rotating. It looks like they're probably using Javies. This could end up screwing the attackers over more than anything else. You know when I say moments that can turn a game in one favor or another? A DC, if this is what it is, I'm going to assume it is. A DC is definitely one of those moments. I'm surprised if it is. that Joe didn't restart the game. Looked like it happened pretty early, and he usually does that. That Legionary Cavalry is going to get those slingers. How did those gladiators end up doing? Best units in the game. Oh my god, they're almost at 200 kills. How are these? 58. Just racking up those kills with that army broken. Oh, they can now focus on this. The Steppe Spearmen still survive, thanks in no small part to the Axe Warriors. Those Galax are now going to fire in. Now for what Lusitani should do is move up their swordsmen because they have 5 Pila. Or 5 precursors, I should say. It's not Pila. Legionary Cavalry is going to rack up more kills just to make sure they round off. As this round goes off. Osworn dropping, Osworn dropping. Same with the Gen. I don't see this as very many kills for Tylus. There we go. They fixed that. Steppe Lancer is here to help. But now that that has been cleaned up, let's take a look over here. I mean, there is obviously Archer Fire, Slinger Fire coming through. Ooh, Axe Warriors coming out on those Galatian swords. While Steppe Archers start to fire in the flank. Steppe Archers are doing well. Looks like Carthage's archers are coming in to wipe them off the map. This part hasn't been discovered yet. The gladiatresses, which are the better of the two, to be fair. And there is a cap of 6 on them, which is why I didn't bring 7. Yeah, that's truly over. So let's take a look as those remnants of the Galax get into that Steppe Spearmen. Those axes get in to help. More javelin volleys. Swordswoman dropping. No, they're going in. Interesting. Actually going in against the Scythians. Not expected that. The big boys are starting to come in. So here comes some Libyans. Looks like we still got 3 slingers left. Tylus. The ballista crew. Let's see how everyone's ballista crews have done. 236. That is that is worth their price. 91 but still firing, and 53 but still firing. So we will see at the end if it was worth it. Axe Warriors chased. Now they're retreating. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they do have Hoplite Wall, which does improve their defense. Yeah, but they don't have expert charge defense. Ooh, nice hit. Got a good number there. This side's facing some trouble, but this was obviously the front lines, Galax and Galatian swords, but they are getting archer fire, which is good for them. This fire doing well for them is going to save them from when Lusitani Steamroller comes in and Carthaginians Libyans come in. I think they might be pushing in the Lusitanis too early, but you might have to. And okay. Nabatea doesn't want to be constrained to the corner. Good on him. He is rotating around with a Legionnaire Cav, a Steppe Lancer. He's going to rotate around and put pressure behind them so they can't put as many forces down that breach. Those are some nice artillery shots, man. Am I looking at that right? Is that a Steppe Spearman leading the way? Yes, it is. Honorable men, and both Steppe Spearmen are still alive. 98 on that one, 110 on this one, and he is racking up the kills, though he is dying. He's not going to live for very long. Yep, retreat back to your spot, boy. As this continues to rotate around. Because the Nabatean army really didn't do much. They had their 4 boys up front that ended up falling. So... or fell back, actually. I see at least some. But this rotation is definitely going to put pressure on the attackers to go deal with that. Basically what this is they had two choices once they beat that Tylus army. They could have reinforced the one front they could attack at, grind out this area here, or roll for a gamble, put pressure on these guys, hope they don't know how to react. Best bet is not to assault with them. Hold back a bit, force them to divert troops here, and when this line starts weakening, because they don't have enough support, that's when you go in. And I like that latter option because it is a lot more fun. And to be fair, this place is already a meat grinder. Might as well call it the Somme with all the artillery firing into entrenched positions. Are those steppe spearmen are going to last longer than the Scythian hoplites? That's right. How are they doing? 67. Still 23 on that one. Ooh, these guys aren't going to survive. Those are Sabinites. Oh, not even Libyans. Those are Sabinites. That front line's going to take a beating. That's for sure. Swordswoman coming in. That noble infantry line should hold, which is why they rotated away. Hopefully. That still. And as you can see, the Nabatean line, so they're moving in now, might be a bit of a mistake. Have 3 Libyans, 3 Galatians, and a nobleman are already there. Basically forcing them to split their forces of a combined arms force of pretty solid infantry that they need for this fight. This corner is pretty hard, but you just move 2 archers over here to fire that way. You've got it. Alright. This is... Legionnaire Cav is flanking around, but they are consistently inching up, putting more pressure. As that's going on, let us check. 126 now, 211. There we go. Those are some real kills on the cavalry. Hoplites being pushed up, Swordswoman winning. You can see where the lines are starting to crumble, and gladiators are coming in to fill out these lines. That is a thing to note. Do the gladiatresses have that same problem? Yes. Gladiators and gladiatresses are not a 160 man on ultra funds. They are a 120 shock unit. Much like many shock units, they have a depleted size because of the damage they do. Ooh, they got too close, and... Are those just Nabatean swordsmen? Yeah. Oh shit! Steppe Lancer's pushing them away. This is... Oh gosh. They're not going to break through and they're going to die there. That is a big loss. I would have been content with pushing them back and rotate around. That's the end of those Steppe Lancers, though they are getting some decent side shots. They feel like they have to commit now. With at least 2 units, but that's just a waste of the units. Ooh, actually... No, that's Veteran Shield Warriors. That is a waste of the unit. Get it out of there. Do not chase. What are you doing? Oh, gosh. Nice Javelin volley, though. But they're obviously not going to win this fight. It easily gets surrounded. This gladiators are starting to get involved. Yeah, I wouldn't have committed. Oh god, that one's already down to 1. And this one's just, they're just going to get shot in the back. Yep, there they go. There they go. They lost 10 on that. They didn't lose as many on that one. That one's still healthy with about 119. But with them enclosing their formation, what Nabatea needs to do, is either condense or start wrapping. You wanna continually put pressure on them, force them to continually expend resources that will be more and more limited to be able to spend. 2 gladiators have joined the fight. There we go. We normally don't see wall-mounted artillery. How did you do? 66. 6. They might still have more shots. But... oh, interesting. I didn't know about that feature. Yeah. More and more bleeding. Gladiators are coming in, getting another killing spree off. Gladiatrix is still not in use. Maybe the first one is. No, none of them are in use yet. It's still just the gladiators. Look at that. Typical. No, I can't make that joke. That's what happens when you start drinking scotch. And it gets really warm. But here's getting a bit thin. Yeah, right here's about to break. Really what's holding that line is those step spearmen. And a hole. Hole right in the middle that gladiators can't really pull back from. The gladiatrices are finally being forced in. Those nabs aren't doing bad. This, I think, at this moment, if you wrap a lot a little more, this could be the moment of truth. You commit into this fight with everything you've got. And the winner takes all. Because over here, this right-hand side is starting to weaken real hard. Gladiatrices are coming in, but there's slingers, there's archers. They're not going to last forever. I think there's... and this is starting to take some damage. A lot of damage. You can see areas where they're starting to break, where they're low on men. Yep, they're starting to wrap around, and this is the time. It's going to be the moment of truth.
We understand. Kill! Understood.
They got the frenzy charge in, and the killing spree. Axes in, continuing to mulch those Sammonites. Get into there, get into the archers. No, they're actually... oh, interesting. They're actually managing to put a bit of a pushback, but areas like this are becoming a problem. Yep, there we go. We need a full commit. Just full forces in. At this point. There are plenty of gaps you can exploit that can do some damage to the range due to damage to bigger, better units. And while that's going on, the other armies need to push in. That's probably the best way, I would say, to win it. It's an even fight. Best option. Holding the status quo is going to hurt them, especially with an army outside. They need to capitulate them now before these nobles get into the fight. Even if Nab loses, if you can break these, you can still win. And it looks like it's starting to begin one way or another. Also, if you can hold these troops up, you can sneak troops into here. And the general's starting to come in. This could be a problem. As the Scythian hoplites get around, that's what you need to do. Right into those archers. Yes, there you go. More noble infantry needs to come in. This is starting to buckle. Yeah, they're pulling back. Get in there. Get into this fight right here. Yes, look at that gladiator. That's what you need to do. Nabatea needs to push in with everything is what they need to do. Gladiatrix gets in, gets surrounded. How are they doing though? Not the best. These are Iberians, but they are allowing damage to be done. Gladiatrix is wrapping around these Sammonites and Libyans. Same with Axis. And those gladiators just got caught. There we go, Nabatea. That's right. Get in. You need to continue to commit. If you go piecemeal, you're going to lose Nabatea. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I got to stop ripping on Nabatea. I like to remember that I am far more of an aggressive player than than a decent amount of people. I'm a gambling man, and this is my opportunity, I would say, to gamble. They wait too long on this front, these guys will not be able to hold out long enough, and it's going to be a loss. You can see, as it is dead even right now, a fight like this does not help them. Not when they're fighting Libyans, nobles, more Libyans, like 3 units of nobles right now. These legionnaires can get in, because these guys aren't pushing, they're in trouble. Looks like they might be able to hold out that side with that curve front, but they are low on men. Look at all those yellows. Nobles coming in. The nobles are going to start mulching.
As you say, all right.
Yeah, but look at that. Gap's already here. Carthage could actually exploit this breakthrough, actually, any of the attackers can start breakthrough. Look at that. General's bodyguard. Now, they're not going to... Because these are only step archers, it's not going to be a good deterrent. And General's bodyguard can actually deal with it. You need to move in, Nabatea. Still only sending 1 man at a time. Go, gladiators, you got this. Heal the Iberia, and since there's not enough pressure, they're going to get cut off. And they're done for. So the noble horse might be facing some trouble. Legionnaire cavalry. There's no one to fight now. Get in, Nabatea. Yeah, this is bad. This is going really, really bad. Even the balance of power is safe. That's a breach. General's bodyguard's going to start hitting them in the back. Still would have been better as a noble cav, but it would have been used. You can't run back. You have to commit full hard into this and hope Nabatea can break through in time. Yeah, Lusitani noble's in that fight. He's going to be doing far more damage in that fight. Yep, that's surrounded. That's broken. This entire left flank is gone. Nabatea, in my opinion, has waited too long and lost the fight. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what I imagine is going to happen. Despite whatever the kills say, whatever the deaths say. The biggest loss to that fight was hesitating on that charge. Too long. And it's not his fault. It isn't. It's hard to judge the right time. But there's not enough infantry left to hold this together. There's some Boei boys. Gladiatresses aren't committing because it's already over. This whole part is gone in a second. With this gone, oh, they are going to commit. Yeah, might as well. But it's gone. This is gone. This is too coordinated. You look at this. Now they have to assault choke points as the defenders. This is broken. This entire flank's broken. Now they can rush down this way, which they're doing. Look at that. There's a guerrilla warrior that snuck all the way over here. Now gladiatresses have to move around this way. Stop that. Giant holes in the middle that enemies can get around. This is over. Nabatea's got to assault back in, and though they do have numbers, though they do have ammo, they've put themselves in a disadvantageous position with less numbers, less men. And you should see pretty quickly the clock start to tick over. At this point, aim for kills, and hopefully do enough damage that Nabatea can win the day. But I imagine with what they've got left, they're not going to have enough. Oh, Nabatea is good. They are exploiting gaps. Rakan Palace Guard getting into these slingers. You need to send this Rakan Palace Guard to get around the Galatian Legionnaires so you can break them. Nobles are coming in. That's actually not bad of a shot. Galatian Legionnaire came out, actually doing a good amount of damage. Just start committing to the fights. It's not good, you gotta defend the capture point. Don't commit to this fight. This fight you can't commit to. You need to continue to exploit gaps. Yeah. So the Gladiatrix is one. They're pulling back around. Because the attackers now, I almost called them the defenders because they look like they have the defensive position. No, they just have to contain Nabatea now. Send a unit to take that gate so Nabatea can't get back in. Force them to come through the gaps you've made. Especially because you're winning most of your fights. Gladiatrices are nuisances, though. 139.
Get running!
Run into the double!
Yep. Now here comes the General's Bodyguard. Now this is a good game for the General's Bodyguard. But he can't really commit to any fights. He got trapped, because that... Fun fact about this map. So this area right here is a divot you can't get out of. You actually can't get out of that. You have to commit to that. I found that out in another game I was playing on the stream. It was interesting. But Noble Cav would have had no trouble breaking through that. And that's why I don't like General's Bodyguard. Well, big play for the Legatus. Right on in. That's it for the Legatus. I think he's just aiming for kills. Nabatea's doing pretty decent. He held up a lot of units right here, which is really good for him. Issue is he doesn't have much left, and you can see, yeah, it's ticking steadily over here. At this point it's over. Get the Gladiatrices in. How's our Legatus doing? Especially because, if I'm not mistaken... Yeah, unlike most units, Gladiators and Gladiatrices are not disciplined. I don't know if you could have guessed that. They're incredibly professional and disciplined units, but the game doesn't seem to think so. Well, oops, wrong one. Okay. With it being over,
Pull back!
let's take a look. Some Wreckham there. Axes breaking. More axes over here. Ooh, those axes that got around. Hey, that Legionnaires almost been crushed. Last of them in. This is a fun one. Gladiatrix is still holding over there, if I'm not mistaken. One is. Where did the other one go? No, they both are holding there. So might as well watch this Wreckham fight. So I told you what my moment I think was the loss, which was Nabatea not pushing in fast enough. I actually do want to hear your opinions. Where do you think the battle turned the most? Because they had a big play with Tylus dropping out early. The defenders did. And Nabatea went for a gamble, in my opinion, and didn't capitalize on the gamble. Which happens. It does. You're too cautious because you're a lone army against multiple. Fair enough. Maybe you don't have the coordination of your teammates. Happens. All that happens. But where would you say the biggest turning point for this fight to go into the attacker's favor after such a disastrous beginning is? Because it is in the attacker's favor, and it is about to get even worse. Nabatea and Noble Cavalry doing their job. Getting some kills. Getting a lot of kills. Gladiatrix is coming around. Do some damage. I really do want to hear your feedback. Where do you think the attackers got the advantage back? The momentum and the advantage back? Was it their artillery? Was it just their units? What was it that you think turned it back around? That fight is now over. Gladiatrix is coming in. Nabatea going in. Get some kills. Might as well, right? Right on in. Nice, Nabatea. At least get some kills in the end. And he's racking up some good kills. Stay in the fight. Don't leave. You're going to get more kills staying in that fight. Yeah, they're just going to get shot. Recharge. Activate that killing spree, gladiatrices. Yeah, at that point, yeah, just do that. Yep, there you go. Might as well, right? Frenzy doesn't do much for you. Oh no, it does do weapon damage. Okay, so it does at least do something. Get some more kills. There, Gladiatrix is doing well. That Noble Cav's down to 9 men. That Gladiatrix isn't going to win, and that Syrian's getting chased off. But these guys are doing their damage. You can see the general's dead debuff. About 50 seconds left, and bar any sort of miracle, this one Gladiatrix, which isn't going to happen, it is over. Oh, they're trying to get that one last charge. They're trying to kill. They're trying to kill this unit. Break them. Break the Balearics. They got him. They got the Balearics. Kill him. There we go. You broke him. Kills. Butchered. Butchered, butchered, butchered. Yeah, might as well. They're just going for the capture point. Send the Noble Horse to finish it off. Honestly, I would just finish off this unit. That's all that's really left. And they're about to break, to be fair. Yep, there they go. Army losses kicks in, and it is a costly enemy victory. So, or valiant defeat, which means it was a Pyrrhic victory on their side, obviously. But we will start with the man of the hour with the most professional army around, Joe Onnit and his Rome Gladiators squad, with actually almost the most kills on his team. The holding faction, Chimeria, actually getting the most, fun fact. Well, for the defenders at least. But Legatus getting 119, that Legionnaire Cab getting 285, that is brutal. Archer-wise, some of his Syrians have gotten 134, 128. When we move on to his 7 Gladiators, we got 177, 104, 257 for that last one. Almost missed him, but he did the damage. He proved his worth. Gladiatrices, 6 of them. Last 3 right there. 154, 171 still at half health. Army losses got them. And 120 for that last one. Codename, which did fairly well. Middle of the pack. Let's see how he did. Almost 300 with his general. 1 off. That is always the most annoying. Arabian's not doing much. Rakim, Palace Guard, one of them getting 235. His archers, 121. Nabatean heavy archers, I should say, 121, 108, 117, and 140. Now, those Nabatean axemen, let's see how they did. 112, we got a 131 and a 117. Other 2 not doing as much. Nabatean swordsmen, I mean, the highest one at 95, but none of them, they all went in piecemeal and it hurt them. Shall not pass. Failed to stop them from passing, sadly. But did get the most kills on his defense, so valiant effort on his side. His Chimerian Noble General got 189. There we go. Look at that. That Step Lancer getting 140. MVP of that game, that's for sure. His Step Archers 258, 311, 206, 241. Those range just shot those boys in the flank and killed so many of them. The rest of the Chimerian Nobles, one of them getting 117. Hoplites, highest at 97. Let's see if any interesting stats on the Scythians. No, they all did fairly decent. And look at that. That's nice. Ending it up with a 69 on the Steppe Spearmen. Bowie, who, interestingly, didn't do too well. I don't know if it was down to being shot, being the second line of defense, what it was, but he did get hurt badly. Sworn, he's got his general in that other one right next to it, the other one getting 170. Nothing too exceptional with the Celtic Slingers. How about the Axe Warriors? Not really. Oh, no, I lied. There's one with 124. I gotta read. 89 on a Levy Freeman. That's really good for those boys. Sword Followers, 152, 108, 102, 113. Not the highest number I've seen, but actually a fairly respectable number. There. Now we're moving on to the defenders. We have Lusitani, the beginning of the artillery strikes. His general got 217 and is still, look how healthy he is with 217 kills. That is brutal. That's what makes them so scary if they don't get shot. I think the highest I've gotten with them was 500 kills. No, 400. Nobles, Thracian nobles were 500. But the Giant Ballista 211, nice. Iberian Slingers 113, 121, 149. Guerrilla Warrior getting 104, that's really nice, especially on attack. Iberian Swordsman, one of them getting 94, which is impressive for them. They do have very good melee stats, to be honest. They just don't. They're just a wet tissue or wet paper bag. Lusitani Nobles, the rest of them 132, and then 308 and still half health. Swordswoman, that one just got shot. 124, 124, 107. No. Just 124 for one of those Lusitani Swordswomen. And the Veteran Shields have the 124, 107. Another 69. Look at that, 2 69s in a fight. Next up, we've got Galatia. Galatia here, getting 349 with that Noble Horse, and it's still being healthy. 126 with the Ballista, which I think is the worst of all the giant ballistas. But Archers got 180, 139, 171. Compared to them, I mean, about equal. But this is where they start jumping kills. Galatian Legionnaires, 323, 240, 169, 199. Noblemen, 175. Then the swords, 153 to 93 on that naked sword. Those Galatian swords got one that did well. Two of them did relatively well, and one did poorly. Carthage, 139, and that's pretty much the end of that unit. That's why I don't like General's Bodyguards. You could have got a lot more with a Noble Cav. 135 with a Balearic. Cretan Archers, 178, 249, 128. Not bad, not bad. Then we have his 7 Libyans, 187, 299. Again, one away. That's the second one we've seen one away, and it hurts. Really does hurt. We got 136, 187, 179, and 142. So all but one of them getting over 100 kills. That's really good of them. Gallic-wise, these three didn't do much, but 241 on this one. It's still a half strike. That is some scary stuff. Then, all the Mercenary Samnites, 177 and 2 at 155. There you go. Finally, Riza. Sworn Jan not doing much. 241 right there on that giant ballista, which I think actually is the most. So congratulations to Riza or the AI, one of the two. Celtic Slingers did not do well. They got killed pretty early on and didn't get to do much. Same with those levies, though that 41 was against cavalry, so that's not bad. I think all three of them are against cavalry. The rest of the hosts were nothing too crazy, and nothing crazy on those tribals. But that is all from me. I hope you did enjoy. I do want to hear in the comments, where do you think the attackers swung it back in their favor? What moment did you see? That is, yep, that's the moment. But that is it for me, so I will be signing off now. You all have a good night.